This is Cranberry Hibiscus. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Okay, here I have the massive bag of Cranberry Hibiscus, which I'm going to gather the leaves, some of the stems, and make tea with. And let me tell you, this is going to be fun to weigh because my tendinitis is not playing today. Oh my God. It feels heavier than that. See all the beautiful, beautiful cranberry hibiscus. 18 pounds, 9 ounces. Oh my gracious. Hopefully y'all can see it is now time to start stripping the leaves off of the cranberry hibiscus. Extremely tart leaves and stems, hence why it's called cranberry. Now, you can make a mild tea with it, but it's going to be extremely tart. It's best mixed with other, uh, it's best mixed in with other ingredients for tea, and it'll turn your tea a beautiful, deep red color. It's also a natural uh, red dye as well. You can cook with it. And I'm getting ready to dehydrate it. And I have almost 19 pounds of it to clean and get all the leaves off. I'm going to add some of the stems. I am so happy to have this. Exceptionally high in vitamin C. And like I said, very, very acidic. So it's going to have a lot of flavor, lemony-like flavor. Trying to do as much as I can left-handed, which is not the best hand for me to be using, but and we're going to keep on stripping the leaves. Now, if it had flowers on it, I would be adding them as well, but you can still use the leaves. Flowers are pretty much only to make it pretty. Ow. And we're just going to keep on stripping. I'm not going to make you watch the whole video of me stripping all these leaves, because I'm going to be here for a little while. But at least it's a beautiful, peaceful, cool evening. And before long, I know the owls will be coming out to sing. And I am just thankful and blessed to have this amazing addition to many more tea mixes to come. I know a lot of people don't have this, but it gives you something to think about growing next year. Because in the cold, you would have to bring it inside for it to survive the winter. But as an annual, it would be gorgeous. And of course, further south, where you don't get freezing cold weather, oh, it would be a beautiful addition to your yard. Okay, sorry, y'all. I'm not the most graceful left-handed, but look at those beautiful dark, dark leaves. And I am so thankful to have this. Massive in vitamin C. Now have a all natural red food dye. Oh, and it is in the Rosella family. Alrighty, y'all. I have a big, big bag left to do, and I will bring you back when it's time to go put them in the dehydrator. See y'all after a while. Well, it's going to be a while. Well, we're into the shed now to dehydrate the cranberry hibiscus leaves. Man, I have done a lot of leaves. This bowl is packed way more than you think it is. And see, you will get red fingers. It kind of reminds me of the color, almost like doing beets. So, time to fill the dehydrator trays. I'm hoping I have enough trays for all the leaves. Okay. And we're just going to spread them out. Now I still have a little under, well, quite a bit under half the bag left. About a little over a quarter of the bag left to go. I have been picking leaves off for a couple of hours now. And I'm kind of glad to be in the shed. Let me tell you, it's cold out there. It is definitely chilly. I was starting to get cold. And I ended up having to go make me some hot coffee. I'm enjoying the cold. But, whew, when I had to go make coffee because it's chilly outside, that's saying something. And as usual, I pack my trays a little more than most people do because I like to get more done at a time. And of course, I removed my lid from the center, which helps to keep leaves from falling through. And no, my silicone mats are not dirty. They're very well stained by elderberries. Apparently the elderberries were stronger this year than they usually are. And the little bit of bleach I used wasn't strong enough. And I'm glad I was doing some dehydrating in the shed because let me tell you, it's nice and warm in here. And of course, everything's going to shrink down, so don't worry one bit. Always remember to remove, no escapees. Remove your lid, because you can't block your center. Well, at least with my dehydrators, you can't block the center hole. I'm looking forward to these being dehydrated because, yeah, I'm going to make me some tea and see how it tastes. So it ought to be interesting. Now, you don't just have to make tea. You can also use it, powder it up and use it in cooking. You can use it in as all natural red food coloring. Many different ways you can use it. If you wanted to powder it up, you can also be able to add a little bit to your smoothies as well. And since they've already wilted pretty good, it shouldn't take these long at all to dry. And I'm going to dry them at 95 degrees, and I'm going to dry them as herbs, because that's what my setting's going to be. And I'll bring you back as soon as I get all my trays loaded. See you here in a bit. Well, I almost filled every tray up. I missed it by one. But I have 13 trays full of leaves of the Cranberry Hibiscus. I'm going to set this one to 95 degrees and let it dry. This one, I can't control the thermostat on it, but it does a really good job too. Both of them are the same dehydrators. They're Presto Dehydro food dehydrators. I like this one better, thanks to Lawrence. I can temperature control this one and set the timer. That way it'll cut off on its own. So I'm fixing to get these started and I'm going to bed because tomorrow morning got to get up, hit it again, and finish the rest of the leaves, which is about close to half a bag. Not really that much at all, but we will see. Alright, I'll bring you back once these are done. Okay, welcome back, y'all. The first 5 trays dried way before these did. Look how beautiful that is. Almost a half a gallon of tea, or used in cooking leaves of Cranberry Hibiscus. Now we got 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's see how much more. Oh, and we're not done yet. I still have more leaves to do. So, pop the top. And that's what you want to hear. Crunchy. And they dried beautifully. Now, I tried drying them at 95 degrees. I think I set it for 8 hours. Yeah, that just wilted them a little more. I ended up bumping the temp up to 110 doing it for 6 more hours, and they were perfect. So sometimes doing big batches can be a pain, but you just work with it and go with the flow and do what you can. But you want to make sure you get all that off your trays. And yes, I know not everybody's going to be able to have cranberry hibiscus leaves to dry, but you know what? Now you got something to add on to your seed or plant list for next year. Because they'll grow up north. They will. But you cannot put them outside until it's absolutely warm. And you can grow them in the ground, or if you're going to winter them over inside, do a big pot. They are heavy feeders. They like some water, but they don't want to be just swimming in water. You have to find the happy balance. You hear that crunch? Now, hearing crunching while you're growing them is not a good thing. But the crunch is a wonderful sound when you're drying them and putting them back for tea. Okay, now all we're going to do is crunch them down. And it has such a wonderful, wonderful sound. And you want to break your stems up a little bit more. It's a slight lemony kind of smell. It's hard to explain. Right. Oh, it's an amazing smell. I'm trying to think. It smells like a jelly I've made. Kinda like the red bud jelly smell in a way. It's hard to explain, but it smells wonderful. And like I said, if you want to, you can powder it up and use it that way. I'm trying to just gently break the leaves up into smaller pieces. That way they'll fit into a tea ball or into a French press is wonderful to use for herbal teas. I just don't want great big giant pieces of leaves. And of course, if you wanted to make you could throw about a quarter cup of it into a good sized pot of rice, and it'll not only scent but color your rice. So let's get to filling some jars. But anybody can do this. All you have to do is have the plant. course, I will vacuum seal it at a later date when I get done with it all. But some of it I'm going to probably move to uh, mylar bags. I know I want to make some tea mixes. But amazing, beautiful, beautiful hibiscus leaves. Extremely high in vitamin C, vitamin A, iron, calcium. And see what falls on the counter. I'm not worried about because my counter is clean. I don't want to lose that much now. Of course, some will naturally powder up, which that's fine. It's still usable. And I still have plenty more room in this jar. Because that was a loose pack. I'm trying not to waste. Oh, come on now. Don't waste any of this. Of course, I still have probably another dehydrator full of trays to do. But look at that. Is that not just absolutely beautiful, y'all? Foraged. This one has, I'm not going to crush this too much more, but this one is full. So, out of 13 trays, I have been blessed with, might as well say right at a gallon of hibiscus tea leaves. Now, remember, this bowl, or it's actually a pan, was packed full of leaves. I don't think I'm going to have near that much left to do, but you know what? We're going to have tea, and I'm going to do some herbal tea mixes later on. All right, I'm going to go back to work and get the rest of those leaves done, and then I'm going to do a special side video for something else you can do with those hibiscus stems. All right, I'll bring you back after a while. Well, later on when I'm loading up the next batch to dehydrate. Round 2, out in the shed, fixing to get ready to dehydrate. Bowl number 2, full. Not quite as full as the last one, but full enough. So, fixing to load up the dehydrator trays and see how much we end up with. I'll bring you back here in a little bit. All right. Ended up with 7 more packed trays. Time to cut the dehydrator on. I'm going to do it at 110 for about 7 hours. Check it and see if it's dry in 7 hours. If not, I'll add a couple more hours to it. I'll see y'all back in the morning. Happy to admit I am finally done dehydrating hibiscus leaves. Man, I didn't think it was going to take that long, but I am done and I am thankful for them all. And I get to bleach my liners tomorrow and get them good and clean. Because, let me tell you, the leaves stain not only your fingers, but your liners as well. But I'm perfectly fine with that because I can get those clean. And we're going to have plenty of hibiscus leaves to use for tea. And once in a while, I might just get spry and cook with some of them. You know, some purple rice might be interesting. It definitely catch people off guard. And last but not least, and they have such a wonderful citrusy kind of elderberry smell to them. That's the mystery smell. They have like a elderberry juice smell. I don't want to crush them too small, but I don't want the leaves being too big. And like I said, if you want to, you could always just powder it up. Well, how you got in there? But yep, that's good enough right there. Okay, let's start loading up a jar. Oh, it smells so good. And it does. It reminds me of elderberries, which is odd. Especially if you're making elderberry syrup. That's exactly what the smell is like. Alright. And yes, I will vacuum seal the jars, but I'll do that in the morning. Right now, I am just about running on empty. And of course, extremely high in vitamin C, vitamin A, and B3, B12, and be something else. I'll have everything in the description box below the video. Oh, it smells so good. I wish y'all could smell this. Now, I know people are chomping at the bit by now about how much to use. How much to use is going to vary on your taste buds and what you like. It is called Cranberry Hibiscus for a reason. It's going to be very tart and extremely high in vitamin C. So, with that being said, I was going to brew a cup and show y'all. I'll do a short on it. This batch made a lot of powder, which is fine. You can still use it. Ain't gonna hurt a thing. But you'll have to try and see how you like it. Dosage, or to make a cup of tea, an 8-ounce cup of tea will be anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon. It depends on your taste buds, like I said. And there we have it. But yeah, it all depends on your taste buds, and of course, do not get all stirred up when the tea. Whoops! Well, there went that idea. When the tea turns a beautiful dark red to purplish color. And here is the last of the hibiscus. It is all dehydrated. It is done. 18 pounds, 9 ounces of cranberry hibiscus blessed me with a gallon and a half of tea leaves and 88 cuttings. And I told y'all those cuttings have a will to live. Quite a few of them have leaves that have popped up off the stem out of nowhere. So hopefully I'll get a bunch of rooted cuttings. We shall see. But here we have 3 half-gallon jars full of hibiscus tea. We won't need hibiscus tea for a while. But it's such a beautiful, beautiful color. Look how beautiful that is. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And I am thoroughly blessed to have it all. And I know Junior's going to be happy because he loves hibiscus tea. And of course, this is also caffeine free, which will be even better for him to have since he can't have caffeine anymore. Simple, easy, worked my tail off for this. But you know what? Every second was worth it. Because just imagine how much that would cost to buy in a store or somewhere. Believe me, it cost quite a bit. Like I said, I'm going to vacuum seal them in the morning. They'll be fine. Always store. Sorry, y'all. Told y'all I was running on empty. Always store in glass jars. Hope this encourages you to also put the cranberry hibiscus on your growing list for next year, or order seeds early this year before this year's over with, because they'll be selling a lot of stock. Simple, easy, and thankful for it. Everyone, continue to stock your pantries with food that will sustain and nourish you. Teas, tea mixes of all kinds, because believe me, you're going to get sick and tired of drinking water. Medicines that will heal you, protection of all kinds, and the bare necessities. Of course, I'll have more medicinal information about the cranberry hibiscus tea in the description box below. I'm going to get off here before I yawn again. Everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Y'all take care and stay safe and sound. This world's getting crazier by the day. Everyone, take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Hoot hoot, and may you each be blessed. I'll see you soon.